As much fun as it is, spending hours and energy creating the perfect makeup look is as soul-crushing as it is to pop past a mirror only to notice the downward plunge your efforts have taken only after a few hours of wear and tear, diminishing you from the demi-goddess you were when you began to the total train wreck you've morphed into. Here's how to show that kind of demotivation that it isn't welcome and save the dignity of your gorgeous look. Hi, I'm Hailey and this is Makeup Basics with Maybelline New York 2.0. This goes without saying, be it a mascara, lipstick or foundation, choose makeup products that are specifically built for long wear. They are created to last throughout the day, which is basically half the battle won. Now, onto the war. I always make sure not to load on a lot of product right from the start. That would just make my face look cakey and eventually wrecked. Start by slowly building up light layers and set those with the powder to help keep your base in place for a long time. Do this by mixing your foundation with some loose powder. Since my skin type is oily, I'm going to add more loose powder and then glide the mixture on smoothly. But if your skin type is dry, then go easy on the powder. I'm using Maybelline New York Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Warm Nude. Layer by layer until you reach a natural finish. This trick helps me blend the foundation in beautifully and gives me a soft matte finish, which is exactly what I'm after. I think I've said this 100 times, but I cannot stress enough on the importance of priming your lids before applying any eyeshadow. It not only brings out the color, but helps the product surpass the lifespan of a small goldfish. Another great eye makeup tip would be to use a gel liner while creating your winged look. Gel liners are more pigmented in comparison to other liners and don't budge even when your eyelids get oily. They're a savior on days when you want your flick to stay sharp for hours. If there's anything a girl can pull right out of her pocket, it's inventive ways on how to increase the life of her lipstick. Having said that, a million hacks are never enough. So here's one more to add to the mix, my personal favorite. This technique is super simple and has worked for me more times than I can count. Dab off the first layer of your lipstick using tissue or blotting paper to remove any excess oils. This helps keep the pigments in place and saves you from constantly having to reapply your lipstick. Another way to make your lipstick as solid as a century-old tree bark is opting for liquid lipsticks. They're super saturated, don't smudge, and stay rich in texture throughout the day. I love how liquid lipsticks don't crack during the course of the day and still look freshly applied when I'm about to crawl into bed for the night. Considering all life's little unforeseen misfortunes, there are some habits to blame ourselves for, like constantly touching your face or unnecessarily adding an additional layer of makeup, which brings you right on the intersection of classy and chic meets involuntary clown. Use a facial tissue or blotting paper every time you feel the urge to touch your face or touch it up. This will help your makeup live to see a few additional hours. When you carefully take the time to pick out the right products and create the perfect look, it's essential your makeup holds up its end of the deal and not pull a disappearing end. So make sure to use these tips to prolong the beauty of your creativity. Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'm always up for knowing your thoughts on the tips and looks we've shared. I'll see you again on Makeup Basics with Maybelline New York 2.0 with another amazing video. Until then, stay tuned and stay glamorous.